Do niggas have dreams? I often think.
What we're going to talk about today is the plight of the African that lives in America. For the most part, I guess the burden on his and her back. When we talk about the man of Africa who lives in America and has been convinced that he is anything but human, and his treatment, he needs to realize that he is the most human. When you dissect the word human, you get the first word, or the first sound, which would be hue. Hue is another term for, I guess, anything that has color, or any sort of color. So people of African descent, or humans in the sense, real humans, have color. And then you have man. Well, we are the truest humans, the truest forms of human, because of our being here longer and our darker skin, or our hue, which for the most part is us being human, and those who are not like us or who lack a hue are merely just they're offsprings of this human that we are to be, and that we are now currently. A lot of medical science would try to defame that idea and say that that's so incorrect. But for the most part, they aren't looking at it from a darker man's perspective or a darker individual perspective. If you go into most of these offices, they don't have they have the body of a white person laid out with the mouth wide open and things like that, and dissected. And for the most part, they're talking about cures for white diseases and white ailments. Every now and then they conduct studies on blacks, but for the most part, it's all in all, it's usually done to benefit whites.
Too much music, too much dancing going on,
The black man, his biggest problem in America is that he refuses to realize that what he's eating, or she is eating, is causing a disruption in their whole cycle. Prostate cancer, skin cancer, just cancer in general. These are diseases of the body, or dissatisfactions of the body, and it's because your body is not truly satisfied with what's being put in it. And in order to combat that, or I shouldn't even say combat that, but to better appreciate the body that you have, would be to fill it with things that are more natural to it, or more common to it. The things that we choose to eat now are mostly just byproducts of man. Things that man has gone into a lab and generated and created. Strawberries don't really taste like strawberry candy. Okay, cherries don't really taste like cherry candy. Okay, these things, we need to realize this. Okay, blueberries don't really taste like the blueberries you find in blueberry muffins in the stores and things like that. Okay, blueberries grow on trees. Blueberry muffins don't grow on trees. Strawberry donuts don't grow on trees. Strawberries grow on vines and bushes and things like that. So these are things that are in nature. Okay, but we've substituted them and tried to make them into things that we eat on a regular basis, and this is causing a malfunction in our bodies, and it's creating in us a problem. Okay, the African diet once a time ago was I believe 70% raw foods, meaning that for the most part these cooked or extracted items out of foods and put into other things. This is what's causing us harm. The sooner we realize that European medicine is not the cure, but more or less the disease that ails us, the better off we are, and we come to terms with being what it is that we truly are, and offering what we truly can to this world, which is not just our labor, but our intelligence and our history and a culture that the whole world could appreciate. I only wish to, enlighten those who really care about themselves and who really care about what it is that we are all going through as men and women. not just blacks, but whites also, and Europeans or Asians or Asiatics, Arabs, all of us. We're all people. It's just that we must realize that in order to go to become better or stronger individuals, we need to go revert back to what the ancients were doing. And I don't mean the ancient Romans, because we are doing what the ancient Romans were doing, because this is the state that we're copying the ancient Roman system, and this is why we are in the state that we are now in. But we need to go back prior to the ancient Romans, before they got their tried to get their grip on the world. We need to go back to ancient Egypt or ancient Kemet. Okay, I mean into Sumer, and to some degree, if you believe in those stories. But we need to take it further back. Before we could artificially generate something, we need to go back to the point where it grew out of the ground and take the best of that and make use of those things. Until we do this, until we recognize these things, these flaws with these engineered drugs and engineered food, we will be bound to things like death and the idea of death and the idea of a disease attacking our body or our body attacking itself, when in actuality every dis-ease within an individual is a self-correcting state. The body is trying to compensate for the fact that you've been putting nothing but junk food in it. But as a majority, we are too brainwashed to see that, and we like to believe that our body is fighting itself or is trying to kill itself. Okay, so we need to rise above that. We need to stay above the influence, as they say, but that influence is the very same faction that's trying to spread the message. So whether it be your television, your newspaper ads, the music, we as Negroes and all these different types of people, we all interpret the world differently. But it just so happens that a large number or a small fraction of this earth has tried to tell us that we are the same people and that we all hear things the same way. But this could not possibly be true, because of the melanin that's in us in each and every different race of people, and then just the way that our ears are shaped, how our eyes are pinned back, all of these things, they play a faction in how we interpret the world around us. Okay? Just being human is not enough, and we need to take some responsibility about this particular situation, and kind of like take things into our own hands and get ourselves back, get our minds back, try and talk to our youth, try and talk to the adults. Everyone needs to start talking and more communication, and hopefully we'll revert back to that past, because there's nothing wrong with looking backwards in order to better appreciate the now and move forward. Okay, but a lot of times we're only looking backwards for the falsities, for things that we've inherited, or what we so-called believe we've inherited, but in actuality we've inherited the circumstances of our past, of our ancestors, and those circumstances and those cultural diets and those things, that's what's killing us. Okay, it's not that diabetes went from your mother and your father and then to you. No. It was the diet of your mother and your father went into you, and therefore it makes you just as much susceptible to the same diseases that they have. See, but we are too convinced by these doctors and these medical scientists that, it's hereditary. In actuality, there's come on, a newborn baby is exactly what they say, a newborn baby. Okay, and there's a possibility that you can have anything when you grow up to be from this newborn state. But the fact that you take on the same habits as the people who created you makes it so that you are, I guess, what they call predisposed to these particular genes or these traits. So what we need to do is take back our minds, revert back to a newborn state, and reappreciate what it is we have now, which is life. And I'm out.